Welcome everybody to Mid South Sports Report Race Talk Live with Matt and Willie. What's going on, Matt?
Not much, you?
Busy, 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 busy
Mm,
week. Uh, it's the Wednesday edition, not the
yeah.
Monday.
Sorry,
But
fellas, about the Monday, but yeah, I got some news real late in the day on Monday that I had a family emergency I had to take care of. So
it's all
sorry
right.
for the late delay, but
Oh, we good. Wednesday's fine, as long as it ain't practice race, all right? As long as it ain't
that's
practice.
right. As long as it's not practice day.
All right. Coming up on the show today, we've got oh man, I don't know where to start. You've got Chase Elliott, Kevin Hart drama. You've got the Truck Series drama and the Xfinity Series drama. I don't think it's the old Bristol, but I say it's the drama was the old school Bristol. A lot of
Bristol,
lot of
Bristol delivered. Bristol
Brit,
delivered this weekend.
yeah. Uh, and I don't understand why. We'll get into that later, but I don't understand why the Xfinity Series are waiting so uh waiting so late to start their playoffs. I think that this should be a cutoff on. I think all series should have cutoff on all the same tracks. Make
Yeah,
it work. Make it work. Make it work. So,
fair enough.
uh, 2022 schedule release. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And well, and we got an old school guy might be making a return to the Truck Series, but we'll wait for that one there. Uh, let's just put a little hint out there. Marcus Lemonis is doing his little thing again where he likes to make splashes, right? Um,
True. Very true.
and we're also going to talk about my guy. Disappointing news, but we'll get to that. First off, uh, yeah, we'll go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick drama. I don't. I mean, Lord have mercy. Did you see that unfolding like it did?
Well, when I watched the race and I saw what happened, and Chase got the tire cut down, and I said, "Ooh, he gonna be mad now." I wasn't listening to his radio or anything, but I was like, "Ooh, he gonna be mad now." And comes back out on the track, and he saw the 4 car. Now, I know some of our viewers are racers. I see Josh is out there. Evening, Josh. Typically, what happens is when you're an actual driver and somebody done you wrong or dirty or whatever you want to call it, the next thing it is basically all you see for the next bit of that race is red. And
Yeah.
it's like you are going to get that guy back and make his life miserable. Well, mission accomplished. He did it. Harvick wasn't happy. Elliott wasn't happy. They had a confrontation on pit road.
I mean,
Harvick, get
yeah.
your helmet off. Be a man. Get your helmet off. If you two are going to duke it out, let's duke it out like men. The other thing is NASCAR. Enough with these other guys coming in to the deal. They got
Let,
to let the drivers settle it between the drivers.
yeah. Well, let's hear what Chase Elliott had to say right here. Chase being Chase right here.
We got no sound there, Willie.
Let me try it again here. But I mean, I could see both of their sides. I think Kevin
Oh,
got a little loose. But you know, but here we go. We should have it now.
He runs into your left side constantly at other tracks, and sometimes it does cut down your left side. Other times it didn't, or it doesn't. Did it to me at Darlington a few weeks ago because he was tired of racing with me. And whether he did it on purpose, it doesn't matter. At some point you got to draw the line. So I don't care who he is or how long he's been doing it. I'm gonna stand up for myself and my team, and we'll go on down the road.
This happens a lot of places. You said things like this typically happen at Bristol, and then you went to affect the race ahead of them.
I just ran my line, and I'm super happy for Kyle, man. He's had a heck of a year. You know, he's a good dude and deserves good success.
So basically, him reeling it back, that was a good save because I think he learned that last part when, they tried to say you cost the 4 of the race, affect the race. They asked Bubba a question that one time, if you remember, about spinning out on purpose.
Oh yeah.
And he said, "Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I spun out." And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he get like a $25,000 fine?
$50,000 fine.
$50,000 fine. He probably wasn't making $50,000.
But again, at the end of the day, he was mad.
Yeah.
And as a racer, because I've done it, I've been in the car before. Somebody, in my opinion, did me wrong, and that SOB ain't going to win the race. If I have anything to say about it, come on, guys. I don't care if it's cup all the way down to your short track Saturday night stuff. I know how I would feel. I could put myself in Chase Elliott's shoes because it's happened to me. And I'll be honest, the guy that did it to me didn't win the race that night.
Well, here's
and
what
I
Kevin,
didn't have a teammate to affect I only had me. So, did I affect the outcome of that race? Yes, I did. Did the other guy affect the outcome of that race? Yeah, he did, because he cut my tire. So I figured, you know what, we're even.
So here's what Kevin Harvick had to say about this whole ordeal.
I just told him, it was kind of a chicken move that he did there at the end. We're racing for the freaking win at Bristol. We're 3 wide in the middle, and he throws a temper tantrum I was just trying to get the lead and racing hard. And then he pulls up in front of me and just sits there until I lose the whole lead. So, just hate it for our Subway Ford Mustang team. To be able to lose a race like that. And I watched him let the 24 go by, and then anytime you run into him, it's a problem. So they can boo all they want. I don't care.
How much of this is compounded by the fact that you were so close to winning and to have it slip away, but then also what happened when he went by you again?
Yeah, well, I lost so much there, and then when I got behind the car, I kept getting tied off the corner, and I couldn't run my line. So, God damn it, I'm ready to rip somebody's freaking head off.
But again, Kevin, you had your helmet on.
Yeah, I had your helmet on when you're having a discussion with Chase. As far as I'm concerned, sorry, chicken shit maneuver. You want to call what he did chicken shit? What you did was chicken shit.
Oh, yeah.
And no offense, but who's fixing the roof on the car? Because when he slammed that helmet down, there ain't no way that roof template's going to fit no more.
It must have passed.
Well, that would be crash damage, I think, in NASCAR's opinion.
Yeah, I think, yeah. I want to share this one because I'm sure some people ain't seen this one, but I want to share this one here. I think it's pretty funny. But here's this one.
Throw a temper tantrum like you're 2 years old because you got past your lead and got a flat tire. We barely even rub. It just, it's all Chase's way or it's no way. And if he doesn't get his way, then he throws a fit. Did the same thing earlier. He let the 24 go by middle of the stage and then just rode around until the 5 caught me, and I was tight behind him, and we wound up getting passed by the 5. So just hated for our guys.
What did he say to you post race?
Who cares?
What did you say to him?
I told him I wanted to rip his freaking head off.
I love you, Kevin, but you still had your helmet on, buddy.
Exactly. Like, come on.
But I mean, Bruton Smith he sold a bunch of tickets for next year, right? I guarantee you he sold a lot of tickets for next year. Everybody wants to go now, I had an itch. I about drove down there. I did. I told my wife, what was it, Wednesday? I said, I'm off Saturday. I said, I wouldn't mind going. She's like, where? I said, Bristol. She said, how far is that? About 6 hours. 6 hours? Yeah, about 6 hours. Then I decided not to go. But, I get them itches and stuff, and, it just another thing, and I don't have it on here, but did you see Josh Jones? Did you see it's Kevin's business manager.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Again, this is the whole thing. If drivers are going to have discussions, let the drivers have the discussions.
right.
The business manager does not need to be standing 2 feet beside him and basically saying, "Oh yeah, proper."
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Hang on. Yeah, here's Jordan Bianchi's view here. This is here he is.
Yep, that's him there.
Yep. There's Nate Ryan.
Again, just let the drivers talk.
Watch Kevin right here. Watch Kevin. He must have cut that part out.
Oh, where you got mad at Bianchi? Yeah, probably.
I mean, there's another video where actually Kevin's walking up to Bianchi and saying, "Stop filming, stop." And then I reckon there was another guy that come and cornered Bianchi, and now they're saying NASCAR's trying to find this guy and ban him from the garage. But again, you're in the spotlight, 100%. You're not going to hide unless they should have done what they did at the end. They should have took it to a hauler, right? These guys are probably the two wheelmans of NASCAR right now. They're wheelmen. Kevin ain't had the year that Chase has had, But again, this was probably they brought the best car they brought to a racetrack in so long. Kevin did. And I watched that little clip from the hotel room of Tony Stewart. And that wasn't a good look for him because he had the 5 car on the right in front of the TV. Did you see that? Did you see that clip?
I didn't see it, but
you got to go back and watch. He's watching Kevin Harvick and Chase Elliott get into it live. Somebody's taping Tony watched it live. And in front of the TV is the 5 car diecast. I'm sure Ford is probably having a fit.
Well, hey, Ford, you had your chance. Tony said you better hire the guy. You didn't.
If I'm gonna tell you something, if Tony had his way, he would have been in that probably that 14 car.
He would have been in the 14 car. Oh yeah,
100%. So, but we'll move on. It did shadow Larson's 6th, 5th, 9th, whatever win Larson had.
At the end of the day, did you see the save that Larson made after he passed Harvick down the front stretch?
Harvick tried to dump him.
Oh, Harvick was going to dump him. I mean, freaking Larson was pointing almost 45 degrees towards the wall at one point.
Larson could have dumped him, but Harvick could have dumped him. But if you was following the in-car camera, Harvick let out of it. Like when he had him sideways, he let him out of it. I think that was just hey, buddy, I know what's going on here, and I don't like it.
Well, I know, but at the end of the day, your beef's not with him.
No.
Don't wreck him. And you almost did. Because, hey, let's be honest here. There is not many drivers in the Cup Series, I think, that could save that car as sideways as it was down the front stretch.
No. I mean, you look at Ryan Newman. I mean, he got clipped and he couldn't save his car. So, hey.
But at the end of the day, Hey, we got some drama in the playoffs now, boys.
Hey, it
I
takes
think
you
this is going to
back.
be good.
I think it takes you back to 2017. Now I'm going to ask you about the Hamlin deal. What is Hamlin really mad at Larson about the deal? Because it looked like Hamlin kind of was trying to go up, get behind him, and they got contact.
All right, I got to put my 2 cents here, and I'm going to drop it at that. Denny Hamlin, not a fan. Don't have nice things to say. End of discussion.
Great point. So we'll go ahead and do that.
There is a reason I am positive why Denny Hamlin and Martin Truex Jr. are on the same team. Because I think Joe Gibbs is the only team owner in all of NASCAR that could put up with the bitchiness and whininess out of those two drivers.
God, buddy. I tell you what, Kyle was one on the radio Saturday. Good God.
He made it into the next round of the playoffs. He's still good. He's still my championship pick. I'm looking forward to it. He's gonna get her.
While let's jump into it before we jump into another series. The bottom four was McDowell, Almirola, Kurt Busch, and Reddick.
Ding, 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 ding.
I know you picked them, right? The bottom four. But out of them, was that a surprise? I think one guy was a surprise. I thought Kurt Busch showed the speed to move on.
Kurt Busch showed the speed. And the problem is I think at the end of the day, Kurt Busch and William Byron were the victim of their own circumstances in this round. And the reason I say that is because Kurt Busch wrecks in Richmond. He had a really fast car in Richmond. Had a really good finish at Darlington. Had a really good car at Richmond. Got wrecked. Bristol, they missed it. They flat out missed it.
If you heard the radioactive, man, he was like, he said, it won't turn into banking. It was terrible all night long. They could not get it. Something was wrong.
They missed it. And the 24 car was the same thing, but different races. Darlington, he had a top 5 car, probably could have been a top 3 car.
Right.
Gets messed up with Bowman at the beginning of the race, tears the right side off of it. They fixed it. He was running. When he blew that left front tire in Darlington and wrecked, he was running faster lap times than the leader.
Yeah. I mean,
and blew a tire, wrecked, right? And then he gets a 34th place finish. And then at Richmond, they didn't show up.
Yeah.
They had a really bad race at Richmond. They didn't show up. I mean, I was listening to the radio at Richmond. It was painful, absolutely painful. Because Fugel's saying this and whatever, and Williams coming on the radio, and he's like, I can't do anything with it. I don't know what to tell you to fix it. It was that bad.
I'll be honest with you, and it's going to refer back to these one-day show-up and race shows, right? Playoff races, they should let them practice.
They should. I mean, but then,
even if it's just a playoff, guys,
yeah,
they should have to practice. It's hurting the racing now. It's starting to hurt the racing.
Right. But at the end of the day, that's where we're talking about Kurt Busch and William Byron. Because at the end of the day, at beginning of Bristol, I mean, you guys know I'm a Byron's my guy. And I was sweating bullets.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's 18 points off the cut. I'm like, I don't see this happening.
And then you had Tyler Reddick.
And they showed up to play. Those guys showed up to play. And you know what? They needed some help. And literally the 4 guys that finished in the bottom all did not run well at Bristol.
Yep. I'm 100% with you on that one.
And you know what? They showed up. The 24 showed up and took the 20 playoff point. They took the 20 points and you know what? They're into the round of 12, which is it's good. I mean, McDowell, I don't think that was a big surprise to me at all, especially after he wrecked at Darlington. As soon as he wrecked at Darlington early in the race, I was like, now you're in a deep hole.
Because even if you had 3 or 4 wreck in front of you, you already dug yourself a hole. You gave your mulligan away. You couldn't really have a mulligan, but you gave your mulligan away.
You
And
gave your
so,
mulligan away. And the
so
problem is that Reddick, at the end of the day, was running good to get into the playoffs. And I had this feeling, and that's why I put him in my bottom 4 in the round of 16, is they used up all their steam to get in.
I really thought if they could have got into the next round, that they really was going to start showing muscle because I don't know what it is, but they can trim cars out so good to make them fast at the mile and a half. But I knew Bristol was going to be a bad race for him because you can't trim a car out with Bristol. You just can't.
Well, the 750 cars you can't trim out at all. Basically, the 750 cars you need just about max downforce. Doesn't matter where you go. And unfortunately for him, it was just kind of like, and Almirola, you know what? He didn't run bad in Bristol at Darlington or Richmond. Like, he didn't run bad, but he didn't run good enough. And then Bristol, they did not get a good finish, and it wasn't enough. And so, you know what? Those 4 were not a surprise to me. I was fully expecting going into Bristol that it was still going to end up being Almirola, McDowell, and Reddick were still going to get eliminated. But I honestly thought William Byron was going to be that 4th elimination.
Yeah.
And Kurt Busch was going to get in, and unfortunately,
that was going to be your shocker. Yeah, that was going to be the shocker.
And I think what just ended up happening is that William Byron showed up. They got stage points in every stage, and ran top 3. And Kurt Busch didn't show up, and that was the difference.
Yeah, I want to tell you something. I don't think there's no way Bowman makes it out of the round of 12. Wait, they're skating by right now.
They ran good at Bristol. They did run good at Bristol, but I don't know.
They're skating.
To me, this track that they've got circled as we're in trouble is the Roval, because I don't think Bowman has ever run good at the Roval.
No, and I know that's why you had Kurt Busch. He probably was circling the Roval because he's good at road courses.
Yeah.
So I hate it for him. I want to share this because I forgot I had it on there, but I saw this and thought it'd be funny. But let me hang on here. Chase Elliott fans thinking dirty racing, and then that's clean racing. But that's just
well, look at the car. I mean,
Well, I mean, you fall back on before we move on. We fall back on. This is not the first incident for Chase Elliott running into somebody. They having tangles and all that. It's going to be exciting in the next race. I mean, it is.
Sorry, John. I ain't gonna have no love for. I ain't gonna have no love for Logano. Hey, at least I didn't eliminate him in the first round like my co-host over here. He had him go out in the first round.
Oh, I did have Logano going out. I thought that they would struggle, and I still think they're still going to struggle. But now we're going to Las Vegas. He ain't got the spotter that's going to tell him to block, right? Block, go down and block. But I thought it was racing too. I thought he got loose on the bottom. That was me thinking he got loose, walked up the racetrack. But these cars are so fragile, you barely touch and you're going to get a tire get cut down. I can't wait for them to go to the composite bodies. But I really thought the Xfinity race, and we'll go to the Xfinity now. I really thought the Xfinity race was better than the Cup race.
Well, it was.
I really thought, and here is the
last 2 laps.
Yes,
the overtime finish. The crate. Probably one of the best. Probably two of the best laps I've seen in NASCAR in a long time.
Yeah.
by Credit One Bank.
A great restart on the outside. The 7 ball guy right on the bumper, the 22. But the 16 battles back.
Here comes Allmendinger. It's Cindric and Allmendinger into 3 and 4. Allmendinger up the racetrack. They make contact. 3 wide for the lead. 1 lap to go.
I don't know how he
Here
saved it
comes
there.
Allgaier on the inside. They go up the racetrack. Allmendinger back in on the inside.
I don't know how any of these guys saved it anyway. Like, I don't know how any of them saved it.
Through 3 and 4. Allmendinger, Cindric, side by side. Allmendinger wins it at the line.
I mean, what at the end? What Austin Cindric did, I think that was a chicken shit move. That was. I mean, to run in the side and cause both of them to wreck. You're not going for the win on that one. You're going to hope that you spin the guy out and then you pass him by the line. Colic tore up 2 race cars right there. Yeah.
You know what? The one thing about it is that I know exactly what was going through Cindric's mind, because those were the 2 guys racing for that regular season championship, which at the end of the day is 5 extra playoff points to whoever gets it over the other.
Right.
So they're racing for something. They were literally racing for something on that last lap. And you know what? Allmendinger did what he had to do. Cindric did what he had to do. It was sad that it ended up that cars got tore up and everything like that, but I was excited to see it because it was like, man, these guys are racing hard, real hard for that win because they knew what was on the line. And, and at the end of the day, because Allmendinger got that regular season championship win, now he goes tied with Cindric with the amount of playoff points going into the first round.
Yeah. Now, yeah.
So
now
that's huge.
Yeah.
They're tied. So that's huge. That's really big. You know, and I'll tell you, the way the Dinger's running right now, I ain't putting my money on Cindric to be the champion right off the bat. No chance in heck.
I think the way the playoffs lined about, I think Dinger is the favorite going into the playoffs for them because he runs good at everywhere.
Well, but the thing is that they both run good everywhere.
Yeah, but
you know, it's going to be a dog. I mean, it's going to be a dogfight between those two the whole playoffs.
But
it's going to be who fumbles first.
Dinger's got playoff. He's got playoff teammates.
He does.
So, and you know that plate track's really where it's going to be at.
Yeah. Well, I think Cindric's got a long road to hoe at Talladega, but
there ain't very many Fords in the Xfinity series.
When it comes to Allmendinger and Cindric at the Roval, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that race with those two.
I don't have that. I don't have that post. I don't have that clip. Not clip, but a picture. I thought what was interesting. Would you take a guess who is 13th in standings? 13th in point standings?
It was Michael Annette, but I don't think it is now.
Ty Gibbs.
Wow.
The kid's run 14 starts, and he's 13th in standings.
Wow. See, I didn't realize that. Wow, that's big.
Before we move on, I want to show this too. And I think NASCAR might need to start looking at this a little bit because I don't know. You see this name right here, Jamie McMurray? He's got 30 points. James Davison he's run 19 races, and he ain't even got 100 points on Jamie McMurray. Okay, I didn't get time to clip the point standings for the trucks. Okay, Jennifer Jo Cobb is 33rd, and she's run every truck race. And there's some part-time like Grant Enfinger that is way up there. Norm
Yep.
Benning has run almost all the races, and he's towards the bottom. He's only got like maybe 3 or 4, 5, 6 points, something like that. You know, and I'm gonna tell you something. The way Bristol did the other night, they was catching Jennifer Joe Cobb like crazy. Wow. What was it? Every 4 laps? 4, 5, 6 laps?
I did not see the truck race. I have
Oh
to be
my
honest. I
goodness.
did not see the truck race, but
It is bad when a spotter gets on the radio and is keying up to the drivers. You're coming up on the 10. She's going to stay low, and it's coming out of his mouth every fourth to fifth lap. It's coming. It's going to be coming. She's coming. You're going to catch her on exit. And here later on, you're going to catch her on exit. You're going to catch her on exit. It was bad.
well,
It was bad.
I mean, we've had that debate on the show before. I mean, at the end of the day, I still believe NASCAR needs to up the minimum speed requirements because that will solve some of this stuff.
I think it needs to be within a second of whatever the leader's running. But again, you can't do that because some of these tracks has got well over a second fall off on tires, right?
Yep.
So, and another thing is too, you have, and we've talked about it before, is you got some of these teams that will not put stickers on, like we'll say a JD Motorsports, right? They won't put stickers on. They'll go down and say, hey, Stuart Haas, the 98 car, let us buy your pull-offs and let us bring them tires down and put them on our next stop. So they're putting on older tires, but they're newer than what's on the car. And I heard Door Bumper Clear saying that's how Johnny Davis runs. He'll run pull-offs, and it helps him budget out, and that's how he's in it for the money.
Yep.
You know, Johnny Davis is in it for profit, and the other guys, you know, they're in for profit, but he's in it for a lot of profit. You know, he does bare minimum. So, but yeah, NASCAR needs to look at some things. We're going to get somebody hurt with these slow cars around. You know.
Yep, I agree.
So playoffs are starting. You got Dinger and Cindric. And then I think the last place guy is probably about 40 points behind. So, pretty tight field. No mulligans. I don't even think you got a mulligan for Cindric.
Oh yeah, no, those guys got a mulligan. They've got 40 points. They've got 1 mulligan. You got 1, but that's it. You got
1 per round.
Probably. That many playoff points, you've probably got 1 mulligan per round.
Well, I thought you know, Larson ran, what was it? Larson ran Thursday and Friday. Yeah, it was Thursday and Friday. He went in race Knoxville.
Yep.
You know, he could have took his mulligan and went and raced for $50,000 and stayed in Knoxville.
He could have, but I think Valvoline might have had something to say about that.
Yeah, he would have, but you know, we're gonna move on to Chandler Smith picks up moves Sheldon Creed on the green-white checkered and keeps his championship dreams alive. That's why this format is so good. It creates drama, right?
He did what he had to do.
And you had some people, you know, on Facebook saying the 4 let him go. You know, let's watch the last couple laps, and because I think you're going to see the 4 get loose coming off. Yeah, I don't think this is what everybody thought it was.
Creed has run tonight at the speed that he's had. It's going to take the chrome horn to get past him. I think he's in a bad spot. He's gonna. You got to get on. Camping World 5 to go at Bristol. He's there. Chandler Smith racing for all he's worth. Rubbing doors. Can Creed hold him off? He's going to get Smith back to the inside. He's there. Sideways off 4. Smith and Creed battling. Smith's got to win this race. He missed it. There's Hunter Nemechek. He is in the wall, and now Hunter Nemechek is in. John Hunter Nemechek's got a flat left rear. I think Creed's got a flat left rear. He's going to end up wrecking. Look at Nemechek sideways.
As you can see, Todd Gilliland is 6 points above. Now he's falling like a rock.
Drove it or gave it back. I'm not sure, but look at this. 2 KBM trucks battling for the lead. They don't know what they're doing right now, trying to figure it out. And there's Creed is still out. Nemechek got into the left corner of Chandler Smith a little bit, but Smith now starting to pull away, and it looks like maybe Nemechek's got a problem as Infinger moves into second. Chandler Smith executed the.
Yeah, he had a problem. It was Enfinger in his rear bumper.
Oh, yeah.
His first career win, and it was in a must-win situation to advance to the next round of the playoffs.
If Finger had 2 more laps, he was going to get to Chandler.
It's Bristol, baby.
Oh, yeah. But he did what he had to do.
He did what he had to do.
You know what? At the end of the day, he did what he had to do. I mean, he had no chance.
Yeah. I mean, Chandler's got a lot more wins coming. He had to do what he had to do, but now, guess what? You're gonna have a target on your back by Creed. Creed's gonna get him back. I don't want Creed's getting him back somewhere.
Listen, I don't care if the roles were reversed. Creed would have done the same thing.
You know, there's only 2 playoff rounds in the Cup or in the Xfinity Series. You got the round of what was it? The round of 10, the round of 8, and then the round of 4.
Yep.
So now you got Vegas, Dega, Martinsville. Chandler's going to have Martinsville circled. He's a short track guy. He's going to have it circled. He's pretty good at a road course. I doubt it, or not road course, but a super speedway. He ain't got Vegas circled.
No.
So, we'll see. I still think John Hunter wins championship. But man, he thinks Creed's going to win championship.
I actually agree with Jerry. Creed's just got too much momentum going right now.
He does, but he also got a lot of stuff on his mind going to the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, but you know what? The momentum is on their side. You're right, Jerry. I'm with you. It's going to be Creed. John Hunter's
Creed ain't going back to back.
John Hunter's going to John. Okay, whatever you say there, boss.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I don't think Creed gets it done, but 22 schedule released. No off weeks besides one. Get one off week. No double headers. Bristol at Dirt on Easter Sunday. And starting the year off at the LA Coliseum.
I'm just going to sit back because he's got a rant coming here on this one.
As a guy that is going to go down to my third Speed Weeks in a row, making a tradition, my third Speed Weeks. I re-upped in 2020. I re-upped in 2019 to go to 2020. I wanted to see the new car. I wanted to say I was the first ones to see that new car run the race. So I re-up in 2021 saying I'm going to do that. And then we get coming out, hey, we're going to debut the car at the LA Coliseum. Slap in the face. Now, do I think this LA Coliseum race is going to be entertaining? Yes and no. One of the things I say, one of the reasons I'm going to say yes because it's short track. The second reason I'm going to say no, the Cup drivers are not like the Xfinity driver. They're not hungry no more. They're not hungry. Xfinity drivers, they're basically racing for their jobs every week. And the Cup Series drivers, they'll let a guy go, at the end of the race. Well, he's faster than me. I'm gonna let him go. Unless it's first, second, third, fourth. Keep watching the races. You'll see what I'm talking about.
I know where you're going. I get it, but
No.
Wrong. Do you not think that the LA Coliseum is going to have a decent payday to go with it? If they're racing for $500,000, they're going to wreck Grandma to win. And let's hope that Chase and Harvick haven't quite figured out their deal yet either, because that might add a little bit of entertainment value there too, because there's no points on the line. And hell, why not? Let's put them all into a bull ring to start the season so that they're all mad at each other already before we even get to Daytona. So that ought to make things interesting come, what's the first short track? We want
20 cars is what's going to start.
I know, but all cars
Charter.
are invited.
All charter cars.
All charter cars are whatever. But they're going to have heat races and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, let's get them mad. Let's get it started to a season, started off right, bumping and banging. And I know the owners aren't happy because I know they lobbied NASCAR hard to use the old car for that race. But
well, NASCAR's going to use a test session for the short tracks coming up.
I'm sure they are.
So, I mean,
hey,
the logistics side of it is going to be a nightmare. A nightmare.
There's actually a lot of races this year that the logistics are going to be a nightmare.
Yes.
There's a lot of races this year that the logistics are
spread out.
Well,
one of the tracks that used to be in the West Coast Swing is not in the West Coast Swing. I think it was a Sonoma, maybe. That's in.
Don't remember.
One of them is not in a. That's usually in a West Coast Swing. Is not in a West Coast Swing no more. Homestead got added back to the playoffs.
That was the logistical nightmare that I was thinking about. Because the last round is Vegas, Homestead, Martinsville. Was the one that's going to be ugly.
You have to go to Vegas and then go to Homestead and then go up to Martinsville. Martinsville is only a 2-hour haul from Charlotte.
Well, yeah, but I'm talking about the Vegas to Homestead.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, even at the beginning of the season, they raced at Daytona 500, and then the next week they're in California.
I'm with you on that. I don't understand the logic of what.
Whatever. You know what? They've decided what they're going to do. I am not a fan with them. I mean, my own opinion, I'm not a fan with them racing on Easter. I was kind of a little shocked that they decided to do that, but I also think that probably wasn't just NASCAR's decision. I suspect that there was the networks that might have been pushing for that a little bit too. In my own opinion, after the race we saw at Bristol last weekend, why are we putting dirt on it again?
I don't know if you know, but I don't think they're bringing late models back to Bristol. It's just going to be short track kind of type cars, not the late models, and NASCAR. So I pulled up the schedule. You got Daytona 500, and then next week you're going West Coast Swing.
Yep.
Auto Club, Vegas, and Phoenix.
Now, Auto Club does make sense for it to be the second race of the schedule because basically as soon as that race ends,
that's short track.
The transformation begins.
Yep. Short track.
Yep.
Here's what don't make sense either. Going to Atlanta, Dakota to Richmond. So why not put COTA where Phoenix is? Because you can always use two haulers to meet them halfway. Somebody can meet them halfway. They do it all the time. They do it all the time on West Coast. When they do the West Coast Swing, they meet them in the middle of the states. So they're not coming all the way. Everybody think, oh, they're coming all the way to Charlotte and go back. No. that hauler stays out there. They bring another hauler with 2 cars in it, slide them in, and be done.
Yeah, you know what? Whatever. They've done it the way that they've done it. That's what we've got. And in my opinion, and I know this is not going to be a popular opinion, but if Richmond came off the schedule, I won't think I'd be too unhappy. Richmond, the last few races at Richmond has been bleeding, boring racing.
I mean, the only thing I don't like about the early of the season, why put 3 short tracks in a row?
Yeah, well, see, that don't make sense either. But
you got Richmond, Martinsville, and Bristol Dirt, all 3 in a row. Which, I mean, this is logistics side. That's pretty darn good.
Yep.
But of course, you got the All-Star race in Texas again, then go to Charlotte. This is where I seen some drivers saying, "Why are we doing that?" You're going from Sonoma, and there's your off week. So after Sonoma is your off week. That's your only off week. So you're basically running from February to June, from June to November.
Yep.
That's your off week. They took a race from Pocono.
That went to St. Louis to Gateway. Which, good choice, because I think Gateway is going to put on a good race.
Yeah. I think Iowa would probably been a better choice, though. But
location. That's the only problem with Iowa.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that one.
And I hate to say it, but you know what? Iowa, if you wanted a NASCAR Cup Series race, you had to support the Xfinity Series when they were there. You didn't.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
You know what? If you were selling it out or getting close to selling out Iowa every single time you went there, you'd have had a Cup race by now.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I also think Iowa, to a degree, sometimes doesn't put on good racing.
I mean,
that's
where David Gilliland one-hit wonder come. David Gilliland, one hit. No, that was Kentucky, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Kentucky.
Yeah. But the other thing is that, Richmond right now, to me,
it's not a short track in my opinion.
Well, the race is way too long. Number one, the race is way too long with the whatever. And I do not like seeing a race where 9 cars finish on the lead lap.
Yeah, I agree.
For whatever reason, Richmond used to put on some really good racing, but now Richmond, for whatever reason, it gets this green flag run going in it. And once that green flag run gets going, then it's just like
it spreads out. You can't. You're not going to see very much passing. Well, what this package is, you get close to a car, and it actually slows you down.
Yeah,
it gets you aero tight behind a car, and you're not going to pass that car unless that guy slips or something like that.
Maybe the new car fixes it, but this I also go back to. In my opinion, I don't know when Richmond was repaved last, but it's a long time. It was a while ago.
Oh,
it's been a while.
They put that sealer back. They put that sealer in on it back in early 2000.
Yeah, I mean that track hasn't been repaved in a long time.
No, it hasn't been repaved in a very long time. But they did put a sealer on.
At the beginning, and I found when they put the sealer on the track, that was some of the best racing. Yeah, it was some of the best racing.
Yeah.
But
go ahead.
But the problem is right now is I think what's happening to Richmond is Atlanta syndrome. And what I mean by that is that, and I know I managed to get you kind of on board, and I got Michael on board too, and he was still on the show, is at some point the pavement gets too worn out. We love to have worn out pavement, but at some point the pavement just gets to the point where it's too worn out. There's too much tire fall off. See, because that's the problem right now with Richmond. That was the other thing that bothered me, is that as soon, these guys had 9 sets of tires or something, or 10 sets of tires. They had 10 sets of tires for that race. And what the crew chiefs did is basically said, okay, well, here's how long the race is. We've got X number of sets of tires. We've got to change tires at 36 laps.
Yeah.
And what had happened is that every 36 laps, and the problem was the tire fall off was just so much that if you didn't come in, you were dead.
Yeah.
So
there wasn't no short pitting there because you'd lost so much time with the long reflex runs.
there's only two ways to fix it. And number one is repave it. Number two, NASCAR, not 10 sets, you get 6.
Yeah.
You gotta
I'm
take
all favor.
you got to take tire sets away from the guys to make them have to conserve the tires more than, and make them do a fuel run. Make them run it out of fuel.
Yeah. I'm with you,
You
on that
know,
one.
like, I mean, they always talk about tire fall off, tire fall off, tire fall off. Well, I find the problem is if the tire fall off gets too high and you've got too many sets of tires, then that's what you get a Richmond race.
Yeah.
So either you got to make the fall off a little bit less, so it's not quite as big a deal to make to keep the tires on the car and run longer, or you got to take sets away from the guys so that they fall off 3 or 4 seconds a lap, but everybody's going to fall off 3 or 4 seconds a lap.
Well, this new car is what I'm hearing. This new car is really slowed off. Like they're like 2 seconds off the pace at Daytona. They're a second and a half to 2 seconds off the pace at Bristol. Like you're going for a 17-second lap at Bristol. So we'll see. But that's interesting. We're going to have to see what they do with tires on that one. So next news come out. Pretty shocker to me. The Todd Bodine news. Marcus Lemonis kind of tweeted out, I heard you're only 6 races out. Here's the tweet he had. Said, hey, Team Onion, people say you're only 6 away from 800 starts. I need 800 reasons from your fans to do this for 6. This is Marcus Lemonis at his best, right?
Yep.
Yeah, does Todd Bodine come back? A possibility. I mean, Camper World's wanting to foot the bill. I don't think no team is going to. Here's where I think Marcus Lemonis is he helps the sport, but he also ruins the sport with, all right, I'm going to give you $15,000 for the race. Well, he wants the full wrap on for $15,000, and that's why you saw Sheldon Creed run a blank car besides a Camping World, because they thought a full wrap was worth a lot more than $15,000.
Yeah.
So he trying to undervalue the sport and say, well, you ain't got nothing on your car. I'll give you some money. You just got to put everything on the car. Yep. And
there's 2 ways to look at everything. I mean, we've had this discussion before. There's 2 ways to look at everything. Yep. And you know what? If you're struggling to get $15,000 out of anybody, why wouldn't you take it? Right. But at the end of the day, Sheldon Creed's team was like, listen, we can run top 5, top 10. We want to get somebody on the car that's worth a lot more than $15K.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to run unsponsored.
Right, because if you take that $15,000, that ruins
you just devalued your team. You just devalued your team.
Yeah, your marketing rest of the time
again,
is $15,000.
The teams that ran it,
yeah,
$15K could have been big to them.
Jordan Anderson, the
exactly.
Broomy brothers,
because any of those teams, you could have gone up to them and said, "Here's $15K." And you might not have got the full wrap, because the other part of the deal was it wasn't just $15K. If you could get top 10, it was 50. If you could win the race, it was 100. Well, you know what? That's worth the gamble for some of these teams. You know what? Yeah, I'll run for 15 grand. Get a few wrecks and everything like that. I finish in the top 10. Now that 15 just turned into 50. Well, that's a big deal. Yeah. So, and you know what? Marcus Lemonis is doing this and everything like that. Well, guess what? I already know the truck that would probably take it in a heartbeat. Kyle Busch Motorsports has got the 51 truck, which is a all-star truck per se.
Yeah, but that's already sponsored.
It is, but I also know that there was some sponsorship coming off that truck this year. So there you go.
You know, this ain't the first time that he's been in a Sad Sam Camping World scheme.
Nope.
He used to run Sad Sam or Good Sam, whatever the
Good
sponsor
Sam.
it.
Good Sam, yeah.
Again, you know what Marcus is doing with Camping World is unbelievable. You know, which Camping World was founded in Bowling Green, so you know it's we have a big Gander Mountains Camping World store here with a big flag that you'll see. But it's. Do you think that Todd Bodine gets his 6 starts, or because he's like a Marcus Lemonis? He's saying, "Oh, you know, good, you know, my phone's ringing off the hook," and do you think he takes it for the 6 races?
You know what? I think he'll take it if it's a good ride.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was thinking. He's gonna take it if he's in a top caliber. He's not gonna take like a Bill Lester and run 30th. You know,
It's going to have to be you know what? And chances are, because of his affiliation with Toyota for so long, it's going to have to be a Toyota.
so it'll be a Kyle Busch Motorsports.
Like the 51 truck probably would be, if any truck was, if they were going to do it, that would be the one I would think. But
I'm waiting on
anyway.
announcements. We'll hit on some basically some silly season talk before we get off here. Waiting on announcement for GMS. I think we know it's probably Ty Dillon by now.
Yeah, probably the worst kept secret in the garage.
I think the one guy that leaked it out was Brett Griffin. He leaked that out. He's pretty good at leaking out. Also, you have Sheldon Creed going to the 2-car in the Xfinity series, so that means probably Myatt Snyder is going to be looking for a ride. Also, news come out would be not news, but the 00 sold their charter to Spire. So the 00 will be shutting down Derek Cope's team. I'm saying that deal there was probably Spire's probably doing what they did with Colic, and we're going to hold on to it, and we're going to get value out of it in a year or two. You know, so they'll lease it out to somebody. They might be leasing it out to the 2311 bunch. You know,
Nope, I don't think so. I think that deal is still going to end up being a Front Row Motorsports deal. I think that's still got the most heat behind it right now.
So you think that Front Row shuts doors or they merge?
No, it's going to be a merge. I think it's going to be a merge, and I think what's going to happen is the 45 car gets the one charter, and the 34 car probably becomes another Toyota, and it'll be.
You're thinking? Are we really about to see Toyota double in its numbers in a year?
No, that would not surprise me. They've been after teams for a long time, and they're going to get numbers where they can.
Well, I mean, there was a rumor that another Truck Series team was going Cup racing with Toyota, and I think GMS is going to be a Toyota team. They're a Chevrolet team now, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a truck. It's going to be a Toyota team. Ty Dillon is obviously a Toyota driver now.
Well, he's not. He's a free agent driver right now. I mean, he drives a Toyota car. He drives for the Gaunt brothers. At times,
I think about he's driving for Jordan Anderson this week, which is a Chevrolet team. So I guess he's not tied to a Toyota.
Yeah, in my personal opinion, I think this was you scratch my back, I scratch yours between Childress and GMS.
What scratch was that?
I'll put Creed in an Xfinity car. You put my grandson in your Cup car.
Never thought about that. You know what? Never thought about that. Wow. That really gets you thinking. Yep. Of course, the news I hate to share. Jed Burton's probably going to be out of ride in 2022. Nutrient Ag Solutions has kicked the bucket. They're not going to sponsor that team next year. That team is probably shutting its doors. The 10 team is probably going to shut its doors. And I think the little rumor that they said was not true. I think it is going to be true. I think Matty D's going to end up in that 11 car. Because we all know how the word gets out with Chris Rice. Chris Rice is a hyper dude, and he's being shut about this. If Jeb Burton had any chance of staying with the colic, him or Matt would have come out and said, our driver lineup next year looks pretty good. They have not said nothing. Now Jeb's being vocal in his press conferences saying, well, hey, this might be my last 7 races for a while. We're getting to the point of, in this part of time, is money is taking over NASCAR besides talent, because Jeb's got talent. He can wheel a race car. He's consistently in the top 10.
But you're not gonna like that he's gonna be out the first round in playoffs. That's my prediction.
No way.
Yeah.
I'd bet the bank on it. No way.
$20.
No. Huh? I'll take that bet. He's gonna come close to winning at Talladega. He should have won Daytona.
Out in the first round.
No way.
Out in the first round.
No. Who is even in the? Hang on. Wait a second. Hold up here. Xfinity. Where's Xfinity at here? There we are.
See, look. Even John agrees with me. Fowler agrees with me.
Y'all crazy, man. No way.
I don't think so. I don't see him making it past the first round. I just don't.
You're crazy. You are crazy. All right, here's the standings for Xfinity, right? He's sitting 35 points out of the playoffs, or out of the lead. Jeremy Clemens, you really think Jeremy Clemens, Riley Hurst, Brandon Jones, and Mike Snyder is going to outrun him? There's no way. It's zero. Now backtrack.
Snyder outruns him.
No way. Snyder has 9 top 10s. Jeb Burton has 15.
Yeah.
Okay, Snyder has 9 top. Jeb's got 7 top 5s. You know how many top 5 Snyder's got? 1.
Willie, I got this feeling he ain't gonna get out of the first round. I got this feeling he ain't gonna get out of the first round. And the problem is that there's too much uncertainty around him for next year.
Put that aside. Go wield your race car. Go wheel your race car.
I'm looking forward to getting my $20. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. If you look at the stats, I'm telling you now, there's no chance. And so my final four.
I think I hit a nerve.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I said, Byron barely skated by, so.
See, I knew it. I knew you couldn't resist. But hey, I said that he was going to be out this next round anyway, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that Jeb makes the final 4, but I think he does make the final 8.
Pull that comment up from John Fowler. Bottom one there.
No way. I could see the 7, I could see the 9, I could see the 16, but the 11 has no shot at Final 4.
22.
Yeah, I'd say
that would be my 4. It'd be 9, 7, 16, 22.
And I'd almost take the 7 out and put Daniel Hemrick in.
No. No,
It'll be close.
he will not make it out of the round of 8. No way.
Daniel Hemrick,
No.
22 a choke.
John, you really shouldn't talk about Logano like that. That's just
He's
not
a
a good thing to do.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Wait. That's a Penske car.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
And I hit John. Now I'm on John's nervous. Boy, I'm 2 here.
Look, wait. I think John's mad. I think he's really mad because Logano dropped TJ Majors. Now he ain't gonna run good. We love you, John. We love you, John.
John,
but-
the next time he enters one of your raffle things or whatever, you can just fix it so that he gets Logano every time, because that'll be perfect.
No, I don't want Logano. No way.
I know you don't, but you could, because if he actually went and won the race for you, man, I'd laugh so hard, because he would get you all the money and you would just have to sit there red-faced like, damn.
Here is the standings. Do you see who's in 17th right there?
Josh Berry.
19 starts and he's in 17th place.
Yep.
Ty Gibbs has got 14 starts and is in 13th place. I mean, Michael Nett did do good. He's at 21 starts and he's only 14th in standings. You know, somebody, of course, you go down the list, you got Ty Dillon in 32nd, Andy Lally. Here's a little funny stat for you. Then you got Dale Jr. all the way down here in 60th, right? But he didn't get no points. Oh, he did get points, never mind. But either way,
hey,
thank you.
I like this. I agree with John. I think Josh Berry has a good chance of being the champ right next year. That 8 car could be the champ car next year.
Is he going to be an 8?
8 full-time next year, Josh Berry.
Well, he's going to be. He'll be consistent.
I agree with John. I do. I think he's got a good chance at it next year.
Well, one, you're giving Dinger.
You're
giving Dinger a second full-time year. That's going to be. He's going to be a Chase Briscoe next year. He's going to win him 9 races next year. Dinger will win 9 races next year. Mark it down.
I need my Trump meme. I need my Trump meme again. Wrong.
All right, let's wrap this thing up. Like we always do, best and worst.
I agree, John. I think he's been working too many long hours lately. That might be having something messing with his mind a little bit.
50, 60 hours a week. Yeah. I guess I'll start with the best and worst. Best of the week had to go Chandler Smith. Clutch. That's all you could say with that one. The guy was clutch. When he had to win, he had to go in there. Probably one of the best truck crew chiefs on the top of the box. And Danny Stockton, he told him after the second stage, can't get it on points. You got to go in. It's all in your hands. He said, whatever the truck's got, that's all you got. There ain't no coming in. 12 points out, you're not pointing your way in. Worst of the week, it's got to be Kevin Harvick, man. Don't get out of your car with a helmet on. I mean, I take that back. It's not going to Kevin Harvick. It's going to Josh Jones. Let the drivers talk it out. That was embarrassing on Kevin Harvick's part of letting your business manager, do all the talking on the side, all the rolling eyes, the bobbing the head, and and making comments. Chase Elliott did tell him, "Shut up. This is ridiculous." So, yep, that's my best and worst of the week, Matt.
Okay, I'll go start with worst of the week. Now, worst of the week is, and this has been a pet peeve of mine for a very long time. 2 drivers get into it on the racetrack. 2 drivers get out of the car. Kevin Harvick, you got to take your helmet off, number one. Have a face-to-face conversation. And guys, the only people that I feel would be needing to step in to even get close to those guys would be a NASCAR official or the crew chiefs, because the crew chiefs are responsible for the team.
Do it in a trailer. We don't need to know.
There is no reason for crew members, media, any of that kind of stuff to get into a scrum like that, because all that does is potentially fuel a huge, bigger problem. And I go back to Keselowski Gordon 2014. I don't think that thing would have come to blows. There was no doubt that Jeff was mad at Brad. And Harvick definitely pushing him in there, definitely instigated things. But the crews being there escalated the situation. And my problem is that there should let the drivers settle it amongst themselves, because that's what they need to do. If they're going to start getting into fisticuffs and things are going to start to get a little rough, let the drivers hurt each other. That's it. Let them do it to themselves. And if they're going to get to fisticuffs, get the NASCAR officials involved, get the crew chiefs involved to break them up. Because you know that if the crew chiefs, if Alan Gustafson and Rodney Childers came into that scrum and told the guys, hey, that's enough. Off to the hauler, you guys can talk about it there. That would have been done, finished, it's done. It's over.
Because them two guys got much respect for each other.
Exactly. So, in my opinion, listen, I love the fact that these guys want to settle it and everything like that, but we do not need 40 or 50 people coming into the situation. It doesn't need to happen. My best of the week, I'm giving it to my boy Willie B. 18 points down in the cut line. They come in. I wasn't expecting them to show up to Bristol, and boy, they did. They showed up. They came to play. They got a top 3 finish out of it and gained 20 spots on the cut, and Hendrick Motorsports still has 4 cars in the chase. I was positive that we were only going to have 3. And Bowman, I wasn't holding any water per se into that one because they have not been running that good. But, I did not want to see William Byron go out after the season that they've had where you finish top 4 in the regular season championship and you have a cut tire that basically takes you out of the race, and then one bad race because you didn't show up, which they've been showing up most weeks, and be out. So I was really happy. Those guys did a really good job. I think they're going to be tough at Vegas. He's always good at Talladega unless he gets caught up in somebody else's mess.
That's going to be the game changer, I think. I think Dega's going to be the game changer.
And he's qualified on the pole for the Roval once in his career already.
There's no qualifying now.
There is no qualifying, but he runs good at the Roval.
Yeah.
So they got a chance to get out of this round. The part that scares me is if something like what they happened to them at Daytona, where they're just minding their own business and, you get taken out, you get a 39th place finish. And the problem is that he's now, I think he's 8th in the playoff standings.
Yes.
So he has no wiggle room anymore.
45 points. He's 45 points out
right.
of the lead. 8th is 45. Logano's 46. Brad's 40 or 51. So yeah, they're all right there. I mean,
there's no wiggle room there. Like this round, you cannot have a bad race.
All right. He's 15 points out of second.
Yeah,
Larson's got a 30-point cushion.
Again, Larson's got the mulligan.
Yeah.
But everybody else, you can't have a bad race. You're at the point now where you can't have a bad race, and that sucks. Because Talladega, for sure there's going to be guys that are going to have a bad race. So
Harvick, Bell, Keselowski, they'll all have to be stage racing this week to try to gain some of them points.
You got to get stage points. Like now, you've got to get stage points. So you know what? There ain't going to be at Talladega. There ain't going to be none of this hanging in the back.
No, you can't be.
You got to run for stage points.
Well, Vegas, you can, Vegas usually they try to short pit and then get your track position back after the first stage, and you're not doing that now.
No, you got to get points. You got to get points now. So,
for the ones, I think it was just me, you, Jeremy, and I think one of your friends doing the bracket deal, the playoff grid. So I think we need to get her picks in for that one. So we'll get her picks in. Make sure get her picks in, and then maybe we'll share ours or something whenever that's set. But it's been fun. We'll try to do one next week. I don't know if we can. We'll try to figure out a day to do it next week. Do a show next week because it's Vegas. We might wait till after. We might do it after Talladega. We'll do a recap after Talladega because we still got a championship to go win for Matt. So might get some testing in and do that. But
yeah, I need road course help.
Yeah.
Hey.
I think I got maybe one or two races left I'm gonna go to this year. Gearing up for Willie's short track tour. Cut the races down to 30, 35 is what I've realistically is going to hit next year. It's not going to be the 50 that I was hoping. It's going to be 30 to 35. Getting a logo made for it. And we're going to get a logo made, maybe get some sponsors to hop on, help out with the travel costs with that. And it's going to be fun. I'm going to be doing John said he's going to his home. Man, get out and support them local tracks, man. Too many local tracks are closing these days. And my plan is, I've been thinking about it. And it is, I'm going to reach out to the promoters, maybe the track I'm going to, maybe get them on the show the week before to get them on the show, maybe to get a backstory on how the track got started and stuff, try to do a segment on it of where I'm going to recap, do a track review. And it's going to be honest. I mean, I'm going to tell you, and I'll tell the track people, up front, it's going to be an honest track review. I mean, I know there's probably going to be some tracks that's probably not going to be good, but I'm going to go enjoy the racing and talk to a couple guys, see how they're racing, where they started, where they've come. And it's going to be neat. And I'm looking forward to it. So, I've been studying on different ways to approach it, segment wise, video editing wise, because I'm gonna have some time into this. So it's gonna be fun. Never know, I might hit your little local track up there in one race. Fly in, fly out. How about that?
I'd probably do the opposite, to be honest with you. I mean, you saw some of the footage I sent you. I mean, we just don't have very good car count. And our last race was actually last weekend. Our track is done for the year.
Yeah. Well, I'm not starting the short track tour. I think the first race is going to be January. I think January 2nd is my first race. So I'm actually starting early in the season. I'm starting in January. Then I'm gonna start. Then my plan is, if I can get off, I'm hitting Volusia and I'm hitting New Smyrna while I'm down in Florida. And so I'm gonna hit it full force. I'm gonna have me a camera in hand, and we're gonna get some good footage. It's gonna be a neat deal. I'm really excited for it. I've already talked to some tracks about coming down there. They're all for it. They'll let me get some good footage and stuff like that. I'm actually might be flirting with getting a drone with a camera on it. They got to be pretty neat to get some action shots of the facilities.
Right.
So, but guys, I think we're gonna. What is this? Oh Lord. Oh Lord, we got to get off here.
Well, hey, all I can say is that I hope you get to enter one of John's charity deals here soon again, and I hope you get Logano, and I hope he wins, because you'll be eating so much crow for a year that it will be absolutely hilarious.
John, book you a flight. I'm going to Speed Weeks. You can come along. I'll take you to the spots I know of. It's a awesome week, man. Awesome week. Tuesday to Sunday. See, every day's racing. There's no one day I don't go without racing. So, anything before we hop off here?
No. Just looking forward to getting this next round of the playoffs started in Cup.
All 3 series will be kicking off a round.
Yep.
So the first time, I think this is the only time that we actually will see that kicking off
a new round. Yep.
A new round. Of course, you've got I guess you call it the round of 8 for the trucks, the round of 12 for the Xfinity, and the round of 12 for the Cup Series.
Yep.
So, any surprises anybody that you're thinking about taking out that you had in for your Cup?
I'm trying to remember who I had out, and I can't remember. I think it was the 24, the 48,
the
20, and the 4. I think were my 4 that I had out.
You think any of them moves on?
Well, the 4's got a fire lit under his butt now, so but I don't like the tracks. That's the thing with Harvick, because I don't like these tracks. And I know John's not going to like this, but Logano's going to have to show me something in this round. Otherwise,
oh yeah, 100%.
Him or Keselowski, one of those two has got to step up, because otherwise, if they don't step up, I think those 2 Hendrick guys that I got going out are going to end up leapfrogging them. So.
I still think Logano or Keselowski is a favorite. I think he's a favorite for the Final 4.
Well,
really
you know what? In actual fact, I would probably say Keselowski's got probably a better chance of falling out to me than Logano does. I believe that.
Well, Keselowski, he's probably looking at next year.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lame duck year, right? So, I would say if I had to pick between Logano and Keselowski moving on to the round of 8, I'm probably going to pick Logano moving on to the round of 8 versus Keselowski. And if I had to pick between the 2 Hendrick drivers, I'm saying the 24 is going to probably move ahead more likely than the 48 would.
Bowman, I don't think there's no shot for Bowman. Has to win at Vegas. He's good at mile and a half. He has to win at Vegas for him. I think he has to finish top 3 at Vegas for him to move on. Yeah. No chance. There's no chance. I just don't think. Yeah. But guys, we'll see you. See you in 2 weeks. Let's do a show the Monday after. We'll do a show after Talladega.
John, 22, 24 in, 48 2 out. I think maybe I'll go with that. Maybe that's what I'll say. 24, right. 22 in, 2 and 48 out.
So, all right, guys, we'll see you later.
Have a good one, guys.